Test, test, test.
Just let me know.
Test, test, test. There we go.
Okay, we're live. Morning. So, we'll call the meeting to order. We respectfully acknowledge that we live and work in Mi'kmaq as the steward of the ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We are all treaty people. Approval of the agenda and order of business. I know, Tina, you have one. Is that community fund you want to add?
Yep, the New Ross Community Care Center request,
Yeah,
designated community fund.
yeah. And Tom, you have a couple of items?
I have a half a dozen, and one of them may end up in a motion.
Okay. Anyone else?
With council's indulgence, I would like to speak about park improvements briefly. Might be good to have Chad on hand.
All right,
Park improvements.
he'll be here anyways.
Anyone else? Someone want to move it as amended?
So moved.
Seconded.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, public input. Is there anyone who does not have an appointment that wishes to speak to council this morning? No? Then I'm not going to go through all the rules. Minutes of the previous meeting, July the 30th. Errors or omissions?
No errors, no move. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? And motion's carried. I'm not aware of any proclamations or designations.
Not today.
I'm moving right along here. Of course, we're at the easy stuff. 7.1, Lunenburg County Senior Safety Program, monthly report. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, and continuing on Easy Street, again, the monthly report is included for council's review prior to the meeting. If there are any questions or observations, comments, would welcome those, and if I'm not able to answer, certainly would funnel it through and bring it back. I did want to note the fact that we did have, the Senior Safety Partnership did have the info booth at the Chester Legion, Branch 44's open house, and that was wonderful to see that the chairperson, past chair of the committee, was able to be there. I really was happy to see that come through as a staff report, part of the staff report. So just business as usual.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know that Chester Golf Club is not on till 9 o'clock, but is everybody here that you're waiting for?
We got one more that we're waiting on, but we can.
No, we can move on to the next item and then,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, 9.1. Oh, yeah, that's you. 9.1.
Good morning, Council. So the item I have for you right here is the annual update to the low-income tax exemption policy. So as you're aware, every year we come through and we update the income thresholds where we calculate who's eligible and how much they'd be eligible for,
Yeah.
as well as the maximum exemption allowable. Under the policy, the exemption amount is to change by the combination of the change in tax rate and the PBSC cap.
Yeah.
And the income threshold is to change by the average earnings of Nova Scotians over that previous year. Of course, both of those have the caveat that, or by an amount that council feels is appropriate. So
We usually use that.
yes, indeed. No other recommended changes to this policy at the time. Our new policy analyst did do a little bit of work in just cleaning up and maybe clarifying how we present some of the stuff in there and how we calculate. Didn't change anything underlying it, just tried to make it a little more understandable for people who are reading it. This year's increase in average weekly earnings for Nova Scotia was 3.82%. And so that would increase the proposed thresholds of income cutoffs. So the lowest income would go from $18,790 or less, and that's income from their income tax assessment from last year, up to $19,508.
Yep.
And then the top threshold amount where, if you make above that, you don't qualify for anything, and below it, you qualify for at least something.
Something,
Is going from $31,583 to from $33,863 to $35,157. As you're aware, through budget deliberations, the tax rate did not change for this year.
Yep.
And so the PBSC cap amount of 2.6% is the recommended increase in the exemption amount. So that would bring the top exemption eligible from the previous, I think it was 895, up to 900 and, sorry, let me find it on my file here, 18. And yeah, so council, we have obviously a draft policy here for you. We have the underlying documents. What we're looking for today is a motion to give notice of intention to approve the amendments in the policy as presented here. Of course, there are always options for setting it at different rates or asking for any changes.
Change it all or whatever.
However, we wanted to get this in front of you so that we can set the timeline going for those amendments in order to have it updated in time for that second bill to go out in September.
Yeah. Well, it's consistent with current policy. Somebody prepared to move we give first notice?
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion is carried.
Thank you.
You guys ready now?
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, yeah. So Chester Golf Club.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, we did have a conversation with Mr. Bremner, and he recommended that we put together a package and come have a discussion, because the last time we were here, if we followed up with you guys had followed up with a mail, we answered, and then that's where it sort of ended, and we didn't know anything had happened until we got our
Tax bill.
tax bill this year. So what I'd like to do is, you guys would have all seen the presentation and stuff at the start. Mr. Bremner thought it was a good idea that we just
Run through it all again.
run through it all again about what the club contributes to the local community and Nova Scotia as a whole and the whole Chester municipality. So, the golf course is run by a board of directors, not-for-profit. We are registered with the Registry of Joint Stocks, which requires for votes to get past 75% of the members that vote to pass anything. So things like the extension of our border, changes to our bylaws, everything has to go through our membership. We've tried to put through a bunch of things in the past couple years. Not everything gets passed, as I'm sure you're all aware in your positions there. But we do have a board of trustees as well that go along, that carry on the original MOU that was left from the pews in 1955. We're currently looking at a new governance model for our club as well, but just a few things in here. We are open to the members and open to the public. We hold 1 green fee per hour for green fee play for anybody to play, and then 2 days out, anybody can book any time that's available. And we do offer 10 packs for anybody that wants to get a cheaper rate that is around the area, because our border is from Roos Cove to pretty much the Golden Bean, and in Chester there.
Why is that the border? And I guess that's where we all
Yeah,
went.
so that's the border, because originally when they started it out, there was a border, and then the membership committee takes care, and the board takes care of the border that is set in place. Why it's there, it's been there for a very long time, and the course was left in the MOU for the Chester residents. In the original memorandum of understanding, it was left for the members of the Chester area.
If I could
But
ask,
does it define that, though?
Yes,
do you have the original MOU?
yes.
Could you read it, please?
I don't have it on.
Now, do you have it? Because
I can
unless
try
I'm
to find
mistaken,
that.
Yeah,
the original MOU said that spoke about
Sorry. Use your,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, because if the original MOU makes it impossible for you to extend, that's a different story.
Yes. But I think what I'm getting at is, from what I read of the original memo, now I could be wrong, is that they left that for people not just of Chester, but Chester's environs, if
Yes.
I read correct.
Yep,
And if you read the
That's correct.
definition of environs, it doesn't just include the town, or the village of Chester. And I think if you read it, basically, they wanted people to enjoy the sport of golf, which wasn't, basically,
Yep.
to the people that couldn't afford to do it.
Yep.
That was their basic, but it wasn't just confined to one area. And environs, if you look what environs look like, mean environs.
yep, and anybody, like I said, anybody's able to come play the golf course. We offer a 10-pack that's at a discounted rate.
Yeah.
And right now, in the current state that we're in, we have 220 on the wait list. We only let in just,
Yeah, but
that-
our
that's-
issue's been consistent. Why is it not eligible for people within the entirety of the municipality to at least make application to join?
That's our issue. That's my issue.
yeah, I know you have more than just that issue with the Chester Golf Club and your past
You-
experience. Yeah.
Elaborate.
Your past experience you shared last time
Yes.
we were here.
But still, if you can, I'm willing to change my mind, but if you can give me a reason why someone can't apply,
Yeah,
even
they
though
might
they
be on
might
the
get
wait
in for
list for
50
10
years,
years, but, you know.
why that is, and you know, it's not the only reason. We have taxpayers in the district that wonder why they're subsidizing
When they're not
a
allowed
place,
to join.
their taxes where they can't participate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody can play. Juniors, if you grow up in the municipality and you're a junior in the municipality, you can join as a junior and keep on
But
going.
you're still not given a valid reason why you can't put your name on the list.
Because right now we have 220 on the list, and there's easily, a 15-plus year wait on that
So
list.
that's your reasoning.
Well, it's our reasoning because it's hard to manage the expectations of those people on that wait list year after
So
year.
what would be hard to manage?
So currently, the bylaws set for, so the bylaws were written in accordance with the MOU. The MOU does say environs, I have to bring it up, I can't see if it actually states it in there. The bylaws would then define what the boundaries are. Those bylaws, they've been like revised, I don't know, the boundaries have been revised, I believe,
They've
in the
been
past, not
revised a
since
few
I've been
times.
on the board. It takes a set, like, for us even to try to do that, it takes a 75%
Vote.
vote. We tried to put changes through last year on the membership to make it easier. I think a lot of people just don't understand and don't like the change, right? And just vote against it. So it's really difficult to get a 75% majority vote. So that's kind of where we're stuck here. Even if we wanted to change them, it would be a real challenge to get that through. And then, to your point, there's a 200-person waiting
Yes.
list.
So have you presented to the membership about
The
putting
idea.
people on the list?
We you know what? Yeah, we could. We haven't.
No, but
not since
have
I've been
you?
on the board. Not since I've been
Oh,
on the board.
okay.
No,
So
but it has
I
changed
assume
before.
that if one of the members brought it to the annual meeting and put a motion on the floor or asked about it, so there's never been a vote taken on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps before I was on the board,
Okay.
yes, but not since I've been on the board. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
who is next? Because I have two green lights.
Councillor Church.
Councillor Church?
Good morning, thank you for coming in. I guess I've been around long enough, I know that the boundaries have changed. They weren't always at the Gold River Bridge. At one time, they didn't even include Marriott's Cove, and then they did, and it suddenly expanded. So, and several times, and I know it stops, it used to stop at the one at Robinson's Corner, and then it went far up Highway 14 to the 103, I believe, and that's it. It doesn't go any further, and it hasn't for some time. I mean, I know there has to be the will of the Board of Trustees to want to change, and maybe, I don't know what the holdup is. I'm totally supportive of the golf club. I realize how important you are to our municipality, but I just feel it should be open to everyone in the municipality.
It should at least be voted on. And one of the things that they're voting on is, do you want the tax exemption? And if you do, here's how you get it. Open up your borders.
So, yeah.
Tom? Yeah.
Thank you, Warden Weber, and again, thank you all for coming in. I just want to clarify a couple of things from historical state that I know. The boundaries have changed upwards of 4 times. There have been, over the decades, votes on this matter. It's unfortunately a very confusing number of steps it would have to take, but I do agree with Councillor Church. Trustees would have to be on board with it and sell it, and the membership has to realize we're not only dealing with the Chester Golf Club here, we have 2 or 3 others that potentially are in the same situation that don't get funding from us in necessarily the same way, or are not restricting people. And the issue that I have received, besides your concerns and your validations, are from people that say, just have a list. I know I may never get on, but I really just want to have my name on the opportunity that if something happened, I might get on. And they are paying. There's no one can dispute that there hasn't been a full municipality participation, but they feel they've never been accepted or recognized or understood. I wouldn't want to see this with any other structure like the rink or the yacht club, say you can't come in, you only live in this boundary. That would be very devastating, and I am concerned for that reason. I understand the good work you do. I appreciate, I spent a lot of time there personally growing up and loved the golf course. That's what I'm hearing. Thank you.
Yeah, and you support all kinds of community organizations who hold tournaments there and raise funds. I mean, we all get that. It's just that why is it not possible for a person to at least make application as long as they live in the municipality
So,
district?
like, there was, last time we were here, Andre made the point about there's lodges in the area that only let men in. So, to exclude us compared to them, what is the difference if we're gonna be compared to, we were in the same category as those places. They have almost, we have a border that you gotta live in so we can maintain our numbers. They're excluding a sex. Like, that's, it's 2026, and it's, if anything, all we're asking is be fair, treated equally. If you take it away for us, you know, that is
Take
what
it
it
away
is.
for-
It's not gonna, you're not gonna shut the golf course down taking this away. We're not gonna stop contributing to anybody. We're gonna keep going, and that's what the golf club's going to do. But it's just kind of shocking how this all went down, from the last time we had the discussion to just finding out via tax bill that it was taken away. So,
And can I just add one other thing? I think, you know, one of the other goals of the Pugh family that left the golf course to the members was to keep the dues low. Having tax exempt, property tax exempt has allowed us, I'm the treasurer of the club, it has allowed us to keep those dues low for our members. We'll have to try to make this up somewhere within our budget.
Yeah.
And so it will be reflected in a dues increase, most likely, unless we can find it elsewhere.
Andre's next?
Yes.
I haven't decided where I sit on this, if I'm honest. But I think that what you just spoke of is actually the crux of the issue, is that this small subsidy does help to keep the dues lows for the members, but not all not all taxpayers can become members. That, in a nutshell, is the issue. But I have a question for staff related, and I should have done my research perhaps before I arrived here, but the other 2 golf courses that are within our boundaries that I'm aware of, do they receive any exemption?
Good question. I don't believe they do.
Not that
No.
I'm aware of. They're privately owned. They're not.
So that's, I mean, that's crucial. I believe that their membership is open to any that wish to join. And I realize that this exemption predated their existence. Probably for many years, you guys were the club, the Chester Golf Club, the only one in our municipal borders. So, but it's an interesting piece of data, because I think as a matter of policy, we have to think about, you know,
Probably.
treating everybody fairly.
yeah, if we allow an exemption for your golf club and your membership, then we have to think also about the others that then, because they also do charitable work and have, you know, tournaments that benefit other disadvantaged groups in the community and stuff like that. So it's, there's policy implications for how we handle this. And I think that's why sort of I keep going back and forth. I'm not a golfer, but I can recognize the good work that comes from your operations.
Yeah, she's checking, but
checking.
Ashpatagan probably does.
Yes,
Because they're
it
a
does.
not-for-profit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking to find out, it's by PID, so I'd have to figure out the PIDs.
Okay, Clarissa, I think you were next.
Thank you very much. You're gonna have to find the money somewhere else, and potentially the fees, the dues, the fees may have to increase. I'm gonna ask a real bold question then. If there's so many people in our whole district, in all the district, more importantly, the whole community, all of Chester and area, are you an exclusive club?
No.
You're excluding people, so you're not an exclusive club.
We're open to anybody can come play. You're a member or you're a green fee player, you can come play.
Okay,
It's just the membership part.
yep, thank you.
Okay, Tina?
Thank you. Thank you for coming in. So I absolutely appreciate and recognize the good work that you do throughout our municipality in terms of the impact that you have with fundraisers, pro kids investment.
All that
Really love that. Also, too, you referenced the example of the Masonic lodges or Masonic halls. You as
Not
well,
sure we'll give them-
very smartly have paid attention to our discussions and our live stream recordings, noted Abdella's position. You would obviously remember my position and vote when it came to the Masonic Hall or lodges or those organizations. And I agree with you in that they are excluding. And again, we arrived at the vote here, and I'm living with that vote. But my position hasn't changed with the fact that I do not believe that the Masonic lodges warrant the tax exemption because of the fact that they do exclude, you're right, a certain sex, right? Very black, very clear. You mentioned that you were surprised when you received the correspondence of the change. Well,
We didn't receive
pardon?
correspondence.
You didn't, okay, yeah. Oh, your tax bill. Oh,
Tax
well,
bill.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I
Yeah,
used the
that was
word,
the
I
correspondence.
used the word correspondence. I guess I should have said letter in the mail, the piece of correspondence, which is your tax bill, okay? I guess I would then say that I'm surprised that this discussion didn't go to your meeting for when it would have been discussed, and the vote then would have been not secured to see this happen. Is that correct? It didn't go for a vote? Is that what you just said to Warden Weber? That it
Didn't go
It wasn't presented to your membership
for a vote, no.
for a vote?
Our membership committee reviewed the request to the email, and we responded with how they felt.
Okay, no, so I'm just stating what I think,
Okay,
and that the
so-
fact is, thank you for clarifying that, but I'm still standing on that. I am surprised that this did not go to the full membership to then see if you would have secured that 75% vote. So, thank you.
Andre?
Can I just ask a quick question? How many members do you actually have that are active, like, or not active members, but are, like,
We have-
that would receive a membership bill or whatever?
We have 800 senior members and 180 junior members, which is our max in our bylaws, 800 senior members and 180 junior members. It is fully booked. Our junior program's doubled in the last 3 years because of our junior program and the programming that we've been putting on. So we're pretty much at capacity, and one of the things we're looking at the club is to look at our tee times and how many we have in a day, because at the current state, we're doing 43,000 rounds, which if rewind 5-6 years ago, 32 to 35 was a good year, and now we're at 43, and the course is taking a brunt of the abuse. Obviously, if there's 43,000 rounds, every tee deck's getting chewed up, So we've got substantial costs gonna be coming up soon to look at improving, extending T-decks. Our clubhouse building is in need of a kitchen renovation and an accessible bathroom for the 2030 requirement to have the bathroom. So there's quite a bit to go on there, and if we look at removing some tea times, and that would just be extending them. Right now, we do 8 minutes before 8, 9 minutes after 9. If we extended them all day till 9 or did 9 and 10, we'll lose tea times, which will have less availability, right? And right now, we're currently 300 to 350 a day all through July and August.
Can you give me a sense of, because I don't know what a membership fee would cost?
$745 for a senior member, plus your Golf Canada membership and tax.
Okay.
So it's like
And
900.
do the juniors pay, what do they?
They pay is roughly, I think it's 150, no, it's 150, and then there's also a novice that's like 115, 120.
Are the juniors open to everybody in the municipality?
Everybody in the municipality for juniors. So, and if they join,
Then they're eligible to come up to the senior level.
exactly, so if they do, there is a little requirement there. 3 years as a junior, and you can go move into the senior category, and doesn't matter where you move. We've had people move, like, Dr. Bethune used to work down in Chicago, and he kept his membership up the whole entire time, so when he came back, he was able to become a member. So there's things like not being able to, if you're in there as a junior, you can be in there for life.
There's a little loophole.
Well, no, it's
Of
a
sorts.
good one, so, because there's lots of kids that play hockey together, that live in the municipality, play other sports together, that we want them to come to the golf course. That's where we want them to come. and-
So if you're a junior, you can join if you're from New Ross or anywhere else?
Yes, in the municipality, yes.
Nothing in the world is straightforward and simple.
And unfortunately, it's, bylaws have changed, the board has changed over the years.
Everything.
We're not even, the discussions that would have happened. The only other thing I wanted to say about the juniors is there is no limit on when the juniors can play. So I used to be a member at other golf courses where juniors can only come in, say, weekdays, afternoon. I've played with juniors there. They can go out any time of the day. Alex
Yeah.
has been doing an amazing job.
And before they're out of school, we run camps on the weekends, and as soon as they're out of school, we implemented this 3 years ago. We do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Wednesday's on course, Monday and Friday are down at the driving range or the chipping green. These are clinics that they can all go to. It's very, very cheap for them to join these clinics, and that's why it's book solid, just like the golf course,
Yeah.
right?
Abdallah? Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I just, do you, and maybe you probably don't, but do you track your membership of seniors? So you made the example of Dr. Bethune. So do you track people that are members that haven't played in years? Is that, do you?
Yeah,
Is it a substantial amount? or- No?
No, it's starting to go away.
So I think you know what I mean. So if I come here for the whatever, and I have a membership from 50 years ago, I just keep paying the dues because that's what I do. I don't play, or, the money's not an issue because it's not a lot of money for a membership. I just wasn't sure if you tracked that.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
Dr. Bethune, he would come back every summer for, a couple weeks here and
Sure.
there. And so he
Yeah,
wanted to
he
be
could
able to
still
stay
play.
a part of
Yep.
the club, right?
Yep.
And that's the majority of those people. We do have a requirement, that you have to live in a certain the area for a certain amount of time before you can even apply to get on the list. I think it's 6 months, and then 5 years. We have an initiation fee of $1,500, and if you've lived in the area for longer than 5 years, it's waived. So we do have things like that.
All kinds of different rules. Sharon?
Thank you. Just one more question. I just thought of it. So your membership, I know that a lot of members are just seasonal residents here, that
But they
this
don't-
isn't their permanent residence, they're just here for the summer. So I'm just thinking, their fee is the same as everyone else. I would think that maybe, I don't know, that if I went somewhere else, it probably would be more than, you know, the person that lived here all year in the municipality, and I believe they pay the same rate. Everyone pays the same rate.
Yeah, well, and a lot of these people would own a home in Halifax or a home somewhere else, and this is a secondary home when you look at the time that they spend.
But they have a home here as well.
They have a home here as well, right? They pay their property taxes, they,
Yeah.
you know, and it, yeah.
And again, it comes back to the MOU. It was for, it specifically says it's for the summer people and the
Oh,
people
well,
and the
yeah, I mean,
residents
it
of
was-
Chester.
It was,
It was a summer resident who built the place.
Yeah, it was meant.
the Pugh family from
That's great.
Pennsylvania donated the golf course because they come here
Yeah.
every summer to get away from the humidity
Yeah,
and
well
heat of
aware of
Pennsylvania.
who they were. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else, any other questions? You have anything you want to add? Okay. One more?
Junior, you said there's 180 juniors, yeah. What is the wait time to get in with the juniors? Like, is there a large list or?
So
long-
it just started. We just got them booked out. It sold out or was full as of, I think it was 1st of June, end of May.
Okay, so this is a new program. So you're looking at, if someone wanted to join as a junior, they would be on a wait list?
Yeah, and they'd probably get in next year. But as that list grows, like, so that list that we have right now for the senior members is at 220. Every one of those has to get vetted through, in property tax bills, this and that, to make sure that the requirements are met. That takes a substantial amount of, following up with these people. And to keep the list, we've also kept a separate list that is a communication list, because we're gonna send out emails when we've let people in to say the wait list is open back up, and we're gonna be able to, add some more, right? But to manage 220 people that wanna get in, like I was down there at the course this morning, I had a lady come up to me and say, oh, I need to know, when am I getting in? And I said, roughly, where were you on the list? And she said 70. Well, I said, you know, it's probably gonna be 5 to 6 years, unfortunately. And that's at 70, so like that 220th person, it's kinda hard to stand there and talk to somebody and say, it's gonna be 20 years till you get in, 15 to 20 years.
But the caveat to that is Dr. Profoon, who does not live here, lives in Chicago, there's a spot held for him, and I can't get in, and I live in Fox Point.
But
And I'm just playing the devil's advocate, that's where we are, that's just the whole,
Yep, but that's part of our MOU and
I
the
underst-
understanding,
yeah.
so
yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Picked the wrong one. Tom, you're next.
Thank you, Warden Weber. I think this shows a number of things, and if I remember right, Alex, in your earlier comment, you said there may be a restructuring of your governance or that. That's something that sounds like it's desperately needed. 75% seems high for
It's
most
extreme.
places that I've ever
That's
listened or worked with.
mandatory for registration and stuff.
Right, but that's still a high number.
No,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and it maybe when the membership was smaller,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
made sense, right? But when you're at 800, it's a hard.
This should be a wake-up call for the golf course. This isn't just the first time this ever happened. This has been going on for decades. You know, I'm in my 60s, and I can remember when I was a young boy, this same question coming up, because it changed, and it changed, and it changed. And now we have citizens that want to be part of it, pay something towards it, and I think that's a fair comment. So there's some work on the end of the golf course, I think, to do, the executive and the people to figure out some things there. I see, question to the CAO, were you able to find out if,
We haven't found Aspetognan yet. Tim has gone to check right now.
Okay.
It doesn't appear as though it's actually on the list.
okay, so they're not getting, so you have been receiving for decades a fairly good cut in your rate, and, you know, I don't know the number, of maybe 9,000 or so roughly a year for right now. That's a good chunk of money, and it is coming from the municipality. It's not just Chester. If this was just a Chester thing, I don't think this would be at this table. It may be at the Commission of Chester's
Yeah.
table. So that's another angle that, you know, is interesting. wording difficult in the original thing. You know, what's it mean? You know, we're at it 4 generations from that time when it was written, and nobody really remembers or knows or does. Anyhow, I'll leave it at that, because it is a very confusing
The
situation.
HT golf course is not on the list.
Very, not on the list.
No.
So that means that you, yeah. Okay.
And we haven't received any, and this is, I'm not aware of. I've only been there at the course for 5 years now, but, grants that have gone to, there has been grants that have been given to Aspetuck that are worth some money. Yeah. Different ways, right? Like this, ours was through our tax exemption, and I know they've received, we haven't really asked for
Any grants, no.
Still be
anything.
eligible. You would still be eligible to apply for grants.
Yeah, but,
Right?
yes,
Yeah.
because we're a non-for-profit in the
Not-for-profit,
local
yeah.
area, but we have and have not. We've been self-sufficient, even to the point where the course expanded to the 18 holes back in the 90s. That was done through the club, from what I've been told in my understanding.
Yeah, you could apply for the $9,000 that you're losing for the juniors. Whatever, just
Yeah,
saying.
well, that's sort of it. And at the end of the day, as a good contributor to the community, it was just shocking how it all went down, right?
It's just that
wanna
we're
be-
hearing from people, why are we not eligible to at least make application? That's like,
Well, but why weren't we told that we lost it either, right? You know, that would have been a nice communication to
okay,
either
well,
get.
we aren't always perfect either.
No, hey, we all make mistakes, right? But it's just, it left, it's just not a great situation, and we would like to be, you know, thought of as a good contributor to the
Well,
community,
I
and,
think we all do believe that.
yeah, but when you're treated one way and you wonder, why is this happening, so.
Tom? I don't know what to do.
Thank you, Warden Weber. So if you want to, you've now heard the story and the message. I think communications have been restructured. I'll put on the floor for reconsideration and see what council wants to do. In a motion.
They're making a motion to reconsider?
Yep.
What do we need for a vote for that? 2/3 vote in order to,
Reconsider reinstating them as the nonprofit. Even though I do have questions about it, I hope they will work on it.
you know, I want to be able to do that, but I need to know that they're going to at
Yeah,
least
you don't
take
dispute
it to
that.
their membership
I don't
for a
dispute
vote.
that.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, I can take that
Put
back.
it back to our,
Yeah.
to our board and our members.
We as three cannot make that decision, that promise. We run, like you guys, run by a board, and we'll need to take it back to the board. And with anything to do with our bylaws, our trustees can stop anything at the end zone.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm suggesting is that part of the motion to reconsider would be that you have an obligation to vote on this issue.
Okay,
And that if,
And if that's what you're making,
and
I
it
can't
would be
second
with
it,
the
but I'll-
understanding if it doesn't succeed, there's no,
Yep.
you're right where you are now.
Yeah.
Because there needs to be some consideration of those matters.
yeah. Well, then you should at least vote on it.
Thank you.
I'll second that, just to have a little discussion,
Yeah.
more discussion.
Okay, it's moved and seconded.
And I have a,
Yeah.
you know, Alex, the manager, rightly said that, you know,
Yeah.
even though Aspeteligan Heritage Trust is not on our property exemption list, you know, they received, I think, $200,000 not so long ago, about equivalent to 25 years of exemption that Chester Golf Club have received. I'm not sure, but I feel like a couple of years ago, they also came back for something else.
Yeah, I
I'm not
just
sure
don't
if that
remember
succeeded or not, I can't remember. So there may be even more, I'd have to look back at our records. So the premise that we aren't subsidizing the Aspeteligan Heritage Trust is not
No, we are.
fully accurate. You know, should the property exemption continue on, or not continue on, or you have to then pay the full rate, I would encourage the golf club to
Apply
seek
for it.
out, because, you know, we have many groups that put on programs for our youth and all that, this, the very thing that you're doing, that we see value in, that I have some confidence that council would be supportive in just like a yearly grant
Yeah.
to
Other way around.
operationally assist with that, and it'd be a bit of a shell game inside your finance, but it would probably end up working out the same. Just obviously with the linkage back that you continue to do that, which I fully expect you would. But I think, yeah, maybe the mechanism will be a bit different. So, you know, should this motion fail, I would take heart that
Probably another.
in the end it may be a wash. Should you access those other revenue sources which are available to
Oh,
you.
no, for
You can
sure.
avail yourself of that,
We-
and I think you'll succeed.
We do the Canada Summer Jobs. I'm doing a thing with Career Rising right now where I got 2 kids from the local Chester area working at the golf club through Career Rising. Like we do all that. It's just, we've received that and we figured we don't need to, hey, can we get this too? Hey, can we get that too? It's just been there, and we've been able to be self-sufficient, which we're trying to be able to be done. Everybody knows costs aren't the same as what they were a couple years ago. So keeping our membership dues with the understanding of the MOU and everybody happy is like all yourselves, it's a hard job to do. And I do know, like, on the presentation, I included the 3 other letters that weren't in the agenda package, but, you know, those were 3 very important associations, groups that we help out, and it's much more than $9,000. Like I said, it's not gonna shut the golf course down.
And we recognize that, of course. I think the other golf clubs could produce similar letters. Not to dismiss what you've provided, but, you know, so we have to think about the policy implication of continuing with this. You know, in government, it can be frustrating as a policymaker because our staff see our budget in little buckets, where sometimes we like, as just ordinary lay people, we like to look at things broadly, as we're giving a certain amount to a certain organization, each one. But they see them as compartments that we've produced a budget, and there's so much in that little bucket that they can distribute, and that comes to council annually as in the form of a budget, which you'd be familiar with. Yeah. So for us, how we do that, the mechanism by which we support you is really important. Because it also has
Implications.
it has implications on other organizations as well. And so this may be part of I've been around here since 2012, maybe too long, I think some might argue. And I think that we have not, in the first 8 or 9 years I was here, we really didn't talk about this very much at all. It's only in recent years we started exploring how we fund groups, what benefits they're getting, they're not getting, and we've been thinking a lot more about it. Things like the Masonic Lodge and all that sort of things, which also do excellent things in our community. You can't say enough good things about that organization in particular. But the mechanism by which we support them, should it be by property tax exemption, should it be by direct grants, that's the broader conversation that is happening outside of this request.
Andre, I hate to, but
Okay.
we're voting, we're voting
Sorry.
on the motion and
I'll say no more.
not the broad.
All right, fine, yeah.
Tina's next.
Thank you. So
Speak to the motion, please.
I will. So part of that motion is taking this to the membership and having that vote.
Yep.
I forget when previous presenters from your organization came in, the AGM was referenced. I'm not sure if it's a fall meeting. I'm just trying to remember.
October,
Okay.
last week of October, it's like
So
the 26th.
the timing is okay. So the AGM will take place this fall. This will be in preparation for us to discuss this going forward. So that's to the motion in terms of confirming the date, timelines for the AGM. Thank you.
Oh, that's okay.
Done? Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposed? Motion is carried.
No, 2/3. Two-thirds, you need 2/3. Does that?
Well, that's 5 people.
Four.
We had 5 people that said yes. No. 1, 2, 3, oh, 4. 4. Well, what's 2? Will somebody tell me?
Good question.
I don't think that is I need 5.
That's what I thought.
1, 2, 3, 4. You, 3 of us voted. 3 of you voted against it. Motion's defeated.
But I hope to see Brand application.
Yeah, thanks for the advice.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I thought, yeah, right. Yeah. I think I'm on 9.2, Fire Services Water Rescue Program. I need to drift around. Morning.
See if I can do this properly this time. So this is the second notice for request for decision. The recommended motion is that the Municipal Council adopt the amended Fire Advisory Committee terms of reference, that is policy P112, to establish the Regional Water Rescue Team Subcommittee and define its membership, mandate, responsibilities, reporting relationships. So I think I went through
it all, yeah.
Yeah, I went through most of it last time and like the high points and whatnot, so, if there's
Will we make the motion?
if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Second it? Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. That was way simpler than that last item.
Thank you very much, thank you.
10.1, we might as well move on to that, although I need a break, but that's
It's Fred.
potable water investigation.
Good morning, everyone.
I don't know if it was your role, but I want to thank Public Works. They finally come up in Chester Basin the other day, and all of the ornamental streetlights are working, I think.
Yeah, that took a while to get that in there. But yeah, and Western Shore will be next. They're just waiting on some parts, so the ones that have been out for a while will be finally fixed.
Yeah, anyway, thank you.
Yeah. All right. This is a follow-up report, of course, to the policy and strategy report I gave, where we looked at different options where we could expend our remaining budget, and also look at the feedback regarding Hubbard's as well. So we're proposing to go ahead with the 4 items mentioned, but we're also wanting to come back with options for Hubbard's at a future policy and strategy meeting as well. Right?
Okay, anyone, questions, or Larissa?
Fair question to ask. You're looking for potable water in Hubbard's area, District 2, okay. Was Mill Lake ever discussed? Mill Lake itself? I mean, it's one of the largest bodies of water that we have in our
Yeah,
whole
I
district.
believe that one has looked at the CBCL report, and they found that it didn't have enough capacity, but that's one of the things we're gonna review again, bring back the policy and strategy, see what was done before with other reports and what had been identified as potential or not, and what other options may be out there.
We're going to revisit it all.
So
Yeah, for
in
sure.
September, our plan is to bring back all of the studies that we've looked at so far, the reports that we've received, so you can see the actual reports, not just a summary of the reports, and then discuss with council potential next steps on how we proceed in Hubbard's.
I understand that you were looking at other sources within the district, and obviously in all the municipality, smaller, much smaller lakes, and then like Mill Lake is huge, like it's probably one of our largest
Yeah.
lakes in our whole, you know, in the whole district. So I'm just curious as to why it wasn't tapped in at this time, at this particular search?
Yeah. I think it was something to do with the depth, maybe, and the amount of people around it. I
Yeah,
don't
there's all
remember
kinds of things.
100%, but that's something we'll
Yeah.
look back for sure.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. No problems looking for more.
Hey, Andre?
It's, I don't know if we're planning to, because this is the Hubbard's piece is sorry, didn't sleep. The Hubbard's piece is in addition to the work that we've already allowed for, I believe. So are you asking for a motion of council to expand the budget?
No, to just use up the remaining budget, right? Because we do have budget for this
But
one.
future work in Hubbard's, I think that's why
You're
we're
gonna
here,
come back
is
again.
we would be coming back with additional
Could be an
budget for
addition,
that.
and once we have more
So this
information.
would use up the
Yeah,
remaining budget, that's why we're here.
Okay.
potentially, yeah,
Yes, the recommendation is just to spend what we already have.
exactly, yeah.
But that would mean that we'd need to consider new budget or additional budget for.
Yeah, once we have more
Yeah,
information,
once they
sure.
come back and determine what the next
Yeah.
steps are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody prepared to make a move the recommendation?
So moved.
Do we have a seconder?
I have questions.
Questions on the motion? Andre?
Just some of these items, you know, public consultation, developer survey, you know, phasing review, like, what do you have in mind for that exactly? Because, you know, we do a lot of, I think the need is pretty obvious, and we've done a lot of studies about where the growth's gonna be, what we expect, how much effort and money are we gonna spend on that aspect of this project?
I would say be at the lower end of that estimate, because we have social media. I can reach out to the developers in the area, see what interest might be. That would be a lot of it. I could see a lot of this in-house, but if we want to set up specific meeting times and outreach, then there'd be budget for those type of things.
So you may or may not need that much.
That's right. And it's pretty broad for all of these, and until we have something worked out officially with Dylan, we don't know exactly where these prices are going, and so that's why we've allowed a fair bit. And also we're meeting with environment, see what their thoughts are, what exact details are needed for downstream flow
I
of
guess
things like that.
my perspective is that, you know, especially at these very early levels, we know, like, I think we generally understand the need. That's why we're doing this work. We've already undertaken the work because we understand there's a need. So until we actually come back with some sort of real proposal, I feel like the consultation piece is frankly premature.
Other
A waste of
in-house
time and
stuff.
money. You know, when we have a sketch of how this could look and the areas that could be serviced, I think then you can have a real conversation with folks. But otherwise, it's not worth investing in that. So whatever portion of the budget is allocated to that, I would personally recommend striking that part down.
As long as they can continue to do the work that's required, I'm happy with it, but I know.
Stick to the
we need
technical, I guess is what I'm suggesting.
Councilor Connor?
Oh, thank you. I didn't know if we had resolution on Andre's suggestion there, but I can speak to what I was, something else. So on the motion, around the Hubbard's piece, just for clarity, so you mentioned coming back to a policy and strategy. Are we
Yeah.
talking maybe this
September,
fall?
hopefully.
In September, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if you said the date. So soon, right? So that's good.
Yeah, that's a plan
Okay,
right now,
thank
yeah.
you.
Who's next?
Councillor Brown.
Bremner?
Thank you, Warden Weber. Thanks, Fred. This is important. I agree. We don't need to spend money on consultation right now. It's time when we get something or else. But I also say it seems to drag on forever, and I know water is a topic that is it's one of the most important. But I also say we have to make some moves and make some things happen to make this a reality, because it seems to take a long time to do these things. So I urge people to do their best, to work at the speed that they can make
So we have a
good
motion.
consultations and move forward. Thank you.
Then you might want to amend it to remove the public consultation piece.
Councillor Raisik.
Thank you. Yeah, I just don't, maybe I don't want to speak on Fred's behalf, but I think Fred's intention was just in case, and we have, you know, we have to have faith in our staff that they're not going to spend money frivolously.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, asking if we need to do this, we'll do this.
Yeah.
We have the budget to do it. Just, you're not just going to do it because we got the money in the budget. That's,
Yeah,
I mean, that makes no
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, and if
So
there's
it's just a
leftover
precaution,
budget,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what I'm hearing is we don't want you to use the public consultation money unless there's some damn good reason why something happened.
Yeah, we'd have to bring that back,
Yeah.
this one, it's just fine with me, yeah.
Sure. And we
Andre.
can,
Oh, sorry.
sorry.
I guess I was hoping that we could just amend, because I think the proposed budget is quite wide. It's
Yes.
from $100 to $220,000, but included in that is a public consultation and developer survey of $30,000 to $60,000. I would propose an amendment to the motion of maybe $5,000 or something, just to, you know, maybe reach out to a few developers and stuff like that. But beyond that, I don't think we really need any kind of meetings or
Let's
anything.
keep it simple.
Yeah.
The motion on the floor is to approve it. We're amending it to $5,000.
For that section.
Yeah, okay. Any further
Yeah.
discussion?
Yeah.
All those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. We're taking a short break, unless there's nobody else besides myself that wants to.
Oh, no, we're
We're live. We call the meeting back to order. Call the meeting back to order. And we are on 10.2, request for a decision, property planning advisory committee membership. And we've appointed all these people, but what we have not done is they're all appointed for 2-year terms, and we should appoint at least a couple of them for 3-year terms. Yeah, so it's just a question of which two or whatever do we want,
And we also need council members.
and then 2 councilmen. We'll do one at a time. So we got Leslie Taylor, Sandra Hitchcock, Tristan Mills, Fred Went, Nicholas Buckle, Margison Reeves, Stephen Rogers, and we just need to know which of those 2 do we want to give 3-year terms to. And it doesn't matter, just some. Well, make that a motion then.
I'll move that we recommend those to the 3-year term.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Now, we need to appoint 2 members of council to that committee, because this is a new committee, yeah?
I'll volunteer.
You'll volunteer? If another person wants to volunteer? Oh,
If that's the will of council.
somebody make that a motion, those 2 people?
So moved.
Seconded? Tom, yeah. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. And I'm on it anyway, so. Okay. That part's done. Okay, community wells. Yes, community wells.
Yep.
That's where I am. Morning.
So I will just do a quick overview here, but basically we are looking to approve the activation of operational community wells and the implementation of community well program, and then provide any direction towards the water coupon distribution program for 2026. That's generally why we're here.
Yeah.
You guys like a quick overview of what?
Well, I've read it all. I don't know
Okay.
about everybody else.
You doing good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a move to recommend the activation. Is somebody prepared to do that? Seconder? Activation of the community wells.
I'll second that, but I guess,
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion on the motion.
yes.
Hey, Sharon?
So that's strictly for the community wells? This is
Yes.
not for the water program?
That's got nothing to do with the water program. We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Okay. So I'm in agreement with that, the activation of the wells,
Okay.
totally.
Okay, any other discussion on the activation of the wells? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. What about the water coupon program? Are we gonna
No.
bother with that or not?
No. No.
Tina?
Thank you. So we've all read the report,
Yeah?
obviously. So the fact with 5 community well locations potentially available by September 1st, which is
Yeah.
2 weeks, and 2 additional locations a few weeks later September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the current status of them. We're currently waiting on a response from environment. Everything is already
Done and ready.
categorized, but due to vacation, there's a bit of
yeah,
a
understood.
delay on getting that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2 of them are currently operational or have the potential to be. And then the remaining 3 will be ready by the end of the month. And then the other 2, so one is at the Public Works site, and the other one is in New Ross. The Public Works site is a redundancy for the area.
Yeah.
And then the New Ross one will be the single area that is without a community well for the time being, until later in September, whenever that's ready. And construction is still underway on that site.
And the New Ross discussions, I believe it is with the group in New Ross, right? They're the ones
I
that
believe the New Ross
have yet
Farm.
to bring in. Pardon?
New Ross.
Oh, yeah,
Farm.
no, it's a museum, I just said group,
yeah.
right? So, because they are a recognized group. So, what I'm saying is the details that need to be explored or brought forward is with the group, it's not with us, right? They need to get back to us?
Correct.
Okay. I don't want to say hold up, because that would be negative.
No, we're,
But
yeah.
but
We're
where we're
working
at, the
through some
timing is with
options.
them to get back to us.
Yeah, it's back and forth between us, working on some options that's best for both sides. And,
Yeah, okay.
It's progressing well.
I'm okay with this. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, so now it's just, are we gonna bother giving away water coupons? Looks like no. Do I need a motion not to do it?
No, we just needed some direction.
Okay. Andre, you want to speak to
One
that?
quick question, and it's related, I think, to this issue. I think our stated objective was to get a community well operational in every district, and I
Yeah.
think that we're on track to do that, which is good. Very exciting. Geographically, our districts are of, there's a wide range of sizes. So, the councillor for Chester has a very small geographic district. District 1 is geographically very large, and the distance between the community wells in District 1 and at the Hubbards, at the fire hall, I think it is, we have a lot of travel time between those sites, and I'm posing, I guess, an open question to council for consideration if we would consider a secondary well perhaps in Ocean Swells. They've expressed an interest in hosting one, and it would really cut down on the travel time because if you've driven out to the end of the Aspetogan Peninsula, it's a long journey. So if you're out there and you have no water, you've got to go a long ways, one way or the other. So I'm just opening that discussion briefly. I realize that it's a tangent, a slight tangent from the stated agenda item, but.
Councillor who?
Councillor Cool.
Cool.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. Geographically, wouldn't you say the deck and the Blandford Fire Hall would be more like in the middle of your district around the Aspetogan Loop? It's kind of, when I travel, there's 20 minutes either way, no matter if I go up Highway 3 or go down the 329. I mean, is there potential for an opportunity to have a community well in that geographical area, as opposed to, like your suggestion was Ocean Swells? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
A dart to a board, nothing more than that. Thank you.
Through the chair, I think there's a few minutes in the difference there. The only reason why I raise it is this item has come to the agenda naturally, and I also, through coincidence, had a discussion with members from Ocean Swells, and they had expressed an interest in hosting it. So, I thought there might be an opportunity to make a marriage here. And I think there's only a few minutes between District 1 Community Center and Ocean Swells really in driving time, so that's reasonable. Much better than, somebody in Aspetogan or Northwest Cove or any place like that having to go all the way around to either Hubbards or East Chester. That's a long ways for discussion.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to any of that, but right now, before we put the community wells in, they had to come into Chester, or come somewheres to get the permits, then they had to drive to a store to get the water and all that kind of stuff.
Agreed.
So
This is a big improvement.
It's a way better system.
And I would suggest that we would finish out the ones that are the aforementioned, the already approved ones.
Then take a look at whether or not.
But, I just wanted to register it on council's radar that there could be an opportunity
Could
to
be,
maybe
yeah.
improve our service delivery relating to community wells.
Yeah, okay. Who's next? Sharon? Oh,
Thank you. That's what I was going to say, that, when we offered the water coupons, they had to drive to the grocery store, which would have been probably the Independent in Hubbards or
Chester.
further. So I think get the ones up in each district, one first,
And see what happens.
and see what happens. I know, the one in District 7 is probably 20 minutes to drive from Canaan to Chester. So it's, and it's quite a ways, New Ross to Chester. I think we offered them at the grocery store in New Ross. But a lot of people still pick them up in Chester because they were coming to get their groceries. But, and you said the one at the Public Works, it was redundant? What did you mean by that? Because redundant to me.
There's another one, must be close.
Yeah, I think there's another one that's in the area.
Could you tell me where it is, please?
Church Memorial Park is
Yeah.
probably the closest one.
Well, that's Chester in the village,
Okay.
so
Yeah, so.
to me, that,
Okay, so that was a misspeak on my part then.
okay, thank you.
Apologize about that.
Okay, so did we make the motion to move forward? Yeah,
Yep.
we did. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. And we may take a look at another one a little later on, depending on how this all works. What?
We're okay.
Okay. Okay,
You had already
10,
passed the one motion, so you passed a motion that we didn't need.
oh,
That's
okay,
all right.
okay.
We're good.
Okay, 10.4, funding source for Church Memorial Park for roofing, financial information services, tell us where it comes from.
All right, hello again, council. So this item, sorry, pull up my materials here. This is about the approval to grant Church Memorial Park the $50,355 to help them with the cost of the roof monitoring over the coming year. And there was a request by council at that time to come back with a recommendation for how to fund that. In my view, this is fairly simple based on the changes that were made back in budget time, where we kind of reallocated how we're using the wind energy revenues.
Yeah.
So, so my recommendation is to include this grant within that same grant funding pool. So basically, you're increasing the amount of grants that are coming out of that wind energy revenue before the remnants get split between the two, the Economic Development Reserve and the General Operating Reserve. So essentially, you can see I've put a table here at the bottom of page 1 on the RFD showing that, you know, obviously the revenues aren't changing based on this, but the allocation of those revenues is changing slightly. So it increases the amount allocated to these external grants, and then it would reduce in equal portions the allocation to those two reserves at the year end when we're done here. I have included some alternatives, although I do feel that the recommended option is probably the best. The alternative would be to, I would suggest just pick a reserve, as in the general operating reserve, and say you're gonna fund it out of that.
6 of one,
Essentially,
half
the
dozen of the
difference
other.
is just that 50% portion would no longer come out of the, not come out of, but the Economic Development Reserve would keep its budgeted allocation and not come down, whereas the general operating reserve would come down by the full amount at the end of the year.
Are we happy with the recommendation? Moved, seconded? Discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried, thank you. Okay, 10.5 was just the cell service letter, I think?
Yeah, we have 3 letters.
Oh, 3 letters,
That we
yeah.
discussed, council asked for last week. So one is to the NSFM, one is to the REMAC committee, and one is to the providers for cell coverage. That'll probably be Eastlink and Bell, or who we've sent to in the past. And so there are some actions that we have included in there. Councils respectfully request NSFM to do a number of actions, same with REMAC and the same with the providers. So we wanted to bring it to council just so you would endorse those actions and authorize us to.
Before I
send
sign the
those.
letters.
Yeah.
Are we all good? Seconder? Moved and seconded, discussion, all those in favor? Opposed, motion's carried. Okay, we still got 15 minutes. Okay. 11.1, email from the Honorable Scott Armstrong.
Yep, so this is, we've been talking for a while now around RCMP and policing costs. So if you recall, there's sort of 2 processes that are happening at the same time. One of those is the policing services review that the Department of Justice is doing, and as part of that review, they have implemented a new funding model. So it used to be that our funding of RCMP was based on a per officer cost. This new model has a different funding formula. We do have a meeting with them in 2 weeks to discuss this and get a little bit more information. But they have implemented the new funding model, and so this is our adjusted cost, so there is some cost savings. At the same time, the second process that has been happening has been a review by the RCMP on resourcing needs for the district, for Lunenburg District. The whole district. And so there is, we haven't brought that to you, we have been shared the results of that. And what you see in here says that the new fee is based on the funding levels or the resource levels as of April 1, 2026. So our understanding, and we'll get more details and confirmation of all of this when we meet with the Minister of Justice in 2 weeks, our understanding is that that includes 15 new resources, new officers for the county, for the district. 5 of those this year, and then 5 for the next 2 years after that. So I would assume that this is where we need some clarification. What you're seeing for the costs for this year, the adjusted costs, includes the 5 new ones that are approved this year. And then next year, there will be another additional 5 included in our costs, so you'll see some increases. And we also need some clarification, because our understanding is that whatever savings we realize from this new funding model, because the province is picking up a larger portion of policing costs, whatever savings we would have realized, there's going to be an expectation that we reinvest that into some sort of community safety or initiatives, and they have to be a new initiative. But because our savings is only 15,000 and we have some new resources in there, we're not sure what our expectation will be for that. So that'll be part of the discussion coming up. So we wanted you to have the letter right now, and then we'll be coming forward with some follow-up information and more details once we meet with the Minister of Justice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Abdallah.
Thank you. We had our meeting.
With the managers, yeah.
With our CMP advisory, and I've had my, shouldn't say doubts, but I think the RCMP has looked at their funding model over the whole country, and of course, they're not immune to hearing that provinces are interested in maybe going to a different policing model, whether it be with another organization. And I think they've actually addressed this in some way, and I think, which is good, they're actually listening, you know, because before, it was like you're paying for X, Y, and Z, and you're only getting X, Y, like, it wasn't prorated if a police officer was off, so I think it's great that they're actually looking at that, and I feel very good about actually the new corporal that's here, and he is acting sergeant, I think he is at this point, but he's brought knowledge to the table, which is going to be a great asset for our area. We're very lucky to have him. Thank you.
Sharon?
Thank you. It may be a bit more difficult to keep track of our expenses this way. Before, we knew it was X number of dollars per officer, and we knew we were getting 6 or 8 officers or whatever. This way, I think it's maybe more difficult. We're going to get just the number, and you know, there's some regional things. I think they're looking at it more as a regional basis, and that they want to see Lunenburg County probably paying the same, whether we're Chester Municipality or Lunenburg District.
Yeah, so it's based on a funding formula, and I think there was a little bit of maybe confusion in the old model that we only had X number of officers, because we didn't have X number of officers. So we might have been paying for 11, and there was 28 general duty officers, so those were the ones that our billings were based on. But the actual complement that we were using, there was staff sergeants in there was like overhead stuff in there that we weren't contributing to, that were part of the resources that were available to us. So I think this is an attempt to try and clarify that, and so that it's not based on a per officer, and it's not up to one unit, so that if we were to say we need an extra officer, that officer was actually available to the entire district, right? So it wasn't just dedicated to us. So it tries to make it a little more fair, so that the other 3 units in there, where no one unit is carrying that burden larger than the others. So.
Okay, so that's that. 11.2, email received from Lori McLean to cancel Mill Lake.
garbage.
Yep, this is just for information for council. I think we continued from public or
Staff.
solid waste, we continue to work with the homeowners association there.
Yeah, try to sort it out. Yeah. Okay. Email letter from Ms. McKind to cancel Re-40's boundary.
For information.
Yep, we've got, getting lots of them. Okay, so 12.1, Department of Community Development and Recreation Quarterly Update. We've got 12 minutes.
12 minutes of questions. So I had some prepared a slide deck there for everyone, so I'm not sure if you want me to go through it, or if you just, if councilors have questions about particular areas, or what would you?
Does anybody have any questions?
So we had, we prepared some of the kind of stats that we usually share from kind of subdivision, development, billing services are all in there, just to kind of keep council up to date with how we're doing in terms of projects and that are happening over the first quarter. So I'll maybe just point out a couple of highlights in there. Under building services, I had I threw a picture of Jared in there just to say, you know, kind of above and beyond our regular duties. We're able to attend a contractor breakfast put on by Castle Building just to talk about the new codes that came into effect as part of the National Building Code changes back in April. And so that's been a really significant topic, and there has been needed to be a lot of adjustment on the side of contractors and builders, and so you know, just taking that opportunity to kind of educate and to you know, let them know what all those requirements were and how you meet those requirements. So I think that was really beneficial, and so it's great to have our staff who are very well informed on that topic to be able to share that. So I think that was really great. Yeah, our new, I think everyone was aware, our new animal control contract is signed and in place. We had some of our stats from our recreation services, just continues to be, you know, a very active summer with all of our equipment loans and programs and all that kind of great stuff that's happening. We include our community use of schools stats in there just to show the number of visitors from April to July, and so those numbers continue to be very strong, and so we do have a lot of people continue to access the schools for all the various activities. On the Parks and Trails side of things, actually the photo that I included there on the Hana State shelter, it actually looks very, very different today. The contractor was on site yesterday, and so the timber frame is actually up now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so
Maybe go down and have a look.
yeah, and so just in a couple more days, I think probably later on next week, I think they'll be finishing that off. That's fantastic. We don't know if any of you have gotten any calls about the trail and the trail closure. So it has been an inconvenience to say the least, just with the Highway 103 overpass work. So we all know it needs to happen, and it just happens that the two new overpasses that are being built, the trail goes underneath those, and so it has required closures. And so right now we're just in the middle of actually a 3-month closure where the trail is completely closed at Goat Lake, at the new Goat Lake overpass, and so there is no through traffic right now. So it's very inconvenient for trail users, especially those that are traveling, want to travel through the area. You know, if they're going from Halifax, say, to Lunenburg, or vice versa. So anyway, we've been trying our best to make the community aware of that, but it is absolutely something that we've been hearing about, of course, as expected. The only other thing I'll just mention in there is I'm not going to talk about the recreation facility.
Councilor Race, if you have a question?
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to tell Chad about when he started talking about the trails. And of course, the ATV club petitioned the government. Actually, I was walking yesterday, and it was nice to see ATVs side by side at the Island View. And they accessed it from there. So it's, and I had a question about that from a guy, just because he saw the sign and what it meant. So that's good. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, and it's interesting. So there's a lot of misinformation out there about the Road Trails Act, and that there's some folks that believe that since that was enacted, that ATVs can drive on any road wherever they want, and that is
No.
not the case.
And
so,
I mentioned it to the guy.
yeah, so it's only on the approved sections, and so our local Shore Riders ATV Club worked with AtVans on this particular location, and so they did get approval for ATVs to leave the trail and go down the road down to the Island View Canteen.
It's right across the road.
So
It's
yeah,
great.
and so that is the only place they're allowed to go. That was the very first one in the municipality of Chester, and we do know, I believe, some
We
councils.
got some letters,
You
yeah.
get some letters, yeah, that they're looking at other areas. In particular, of course, of interest is gas stations. So I know there was interest there in further petitioning the province to
They
allow
go to the
ATVs to
Petro
come in.
Chester Basin anyway, I don't know.
Well, I
Yeah.
had spoken to,
Yeah,
I had spoken to a lady that lives on that road.
Mm-hmm.
There's some walks, she's usually out in the yard, and I told her just to expect a little, because of the change. She said they come down the road anyway,
Well,
but I
yeah.
said now they can come down legally, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The only other one thing I wanted to mention, just with Pro Kids, we there's a photo in there of stand-up paddleboard that was donated, and there's the photo there. If you haven't seen it, it's over at the rec office right now. You should take a swing by before you leave today. It's a phenomenal piece of woodworking, and so that was donated to the Pro Kids program, and so we're going to be.
Who donated it?
Grant Tippler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good,
So so it was a fantastic donation, and so he built it, donated it, and so the value is about $3,500 plus there's another $500 in gear to go with it, which includes a kind of paddle, leash, and life vest. And so, yeah, it's fantastic. So we are going to be selling tickets on that. We're just in the process of getting our lottery license. So as soon as that comes in, probably by the 1st of next week, that we're going to be selling tickets on that to raise funds for Pro Kids. So, yes, that's pretty fantastic. So stop by the rec office and take a look at that. And we also had a donated golf club, which is, as you see up there, it was a replica of the Mike Weir club from the 2003 Masters that Mike won. So for all those golfers, that might be of interest. So we're going to be selling tickets for that as well. And I know, as mentioned in our earlier conversation, just around the Pro Kids golf tournaments, that is happening in September again. This year it's at Sherwood Golf Club. And so we're going to be, that's part of one of the items that's going to be for sale, for tickets for sale at that event and throughout September as well. And so, So in the hopes of generating a little more
Are
funds.
we
for-
allowed to buy tickets and win, or we have to get somebody else to do
Absolutely,
it for us?
yeah. No, anybody can buy tickets. Yeah.
Anybody, any questions? We're just about out of time. Okay, thank you much. Oh, sorry.
It's all right, and I'll be brief this time. I'll just say that professionally, I've engaged with our building department a number of times, as have many contractors that I'm aware of, and they have had very good experiences. It's only been a few years since we were contemplating shutting the doors on our building department and allowing another municipality to run it for us. And I see this is a real success story, I think. We shouldn't lose sight of how far we've come in a short time. And, I'm happy to see also the new shelter at the Hans property. What size was that again?
Oh, I don't know right off. 20 by 30, I believe, roughly.
Yeah, I think the Mahone Bay actually just recently completed a shelter, probably very similar to a timber frame shelter along their waterfront there, which is probably about the same size.
Yeah.
And who's the contractor putting that in?
I should know right off the top of my head, but I don't. I can send it to you.
Sorry, just curious.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic work. He's been really excellent to work with.
Good.
So, yeah.
Alrighty, that's all. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Will it be accessible, like wheelchair accessible, the shelter?
Yeah, so the shelter was constructed, so if you're familiar with the property, so you drive the driveway and there's the parking area, and then there is a gate there, and so beyond the gate, the road kind of continues, and then once you kind of crest the hill, that's where the shelter was built at the top of the hill there. So there is the intent is for it to be accessible. as much as it can be. And then that gate can be opened at any time, so if we do have somebody that needs to be, you know, in a vehicle and drive to the shelter and then get out of the vehicle at the shelter location, that can happen as well. Very, very easy for us to do that. So, yeah, and so the design is for it to be kind of zero clearance, so there is a concrete slab that was built,
Yeah.
and so it's gonna be, you know, obviously flush with the ground, and so it'll be, yeah, be easily accessible.
That's great, because I know some of the Bonnie Farm
Yes.
participants have been using the trail, love it, and
Yeah.
they would probably use that too.
Yeah, and so it does follow that, the kind of the green trail or the
Yeah.
easy trail.
Yeah.
So it is part of that trail,
Yep.
so, yeah, it goes right next to it, so, yep.
Great, thank
Yeah,
you.
stop by and take a look.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need a motion to go in camera.
So moved.
Seconder? Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried.